Welcome back to another episode of OnceHuman. Since you're all enjoying this series so much, I'm excited to keep it going and hope you're just as captivated by this amazing game as I am. Today, we'll be taking on another mission located near the spot where we last met Hot Dog, a silo to be precise. So let's dive right in without further ado. Of course, our priority is gathering as many items as possible to upgrade and perfect our little home. Let's go. As usual, let's eat and drink to stay fully energized during the mission, avoiding any negative status effects so we can defend ourselves at our best. Let's see what T-Man has to tell us and find out today's bounty.
Ah, my favorite mayfly. I have quite the interesting bounty for you, if you're interested.
A vulture leader? What did he do to deserve a bounty?
What hasn't this vulture done, you mean? I'm sure his crimes go beyond what we know. Of course, there's only one crime I'm concerned with. The one on the bounty. Just take a look, and you'll see he's earned his death sentence.
Huh? Carol and Colin Langan.
Yes, our client seems to be connected to the target somehow. Maybe they're a couple, or brother and sister. Carol did not give me all the details, and I did not push her for more, including why she's putting out this bounty.
Dragon's Bone, Colin, the client Carol, nicknamed Falco, accused the vulture leader of murder. At 6:37 p.m., September 27th, censured 053, the defendant killed Jonathan Leatham, nicknamed Baker, his wife Nancy Leatham, nicknamed Black Nail, and their twin infants who are 6 months old. The whole process took about 3 minutes, with the suspect Colin Langan, nicknamed Dragon's Bone, firing 35 shots of .20 bullets using an auto assault 12, causing 4 victims to die on the spot. After a thorough examination of all available evidence, T-Man declares the defendant guilty as charged. According to the 1978 Nalcott Penal Code and the 31st Amendment to the state constitution on aggravated crime, Dragon's Bone Colin Langan is hereby sentenced to death by open bounty. The felon is often seen in a dirty campsite in the Northwest. Signature Carol Langan. Look at this bad luck. I dropped a deviation, but unfortunately, I couldn't claim it. It would have been great to grab the first deviation in this area, but we'll try again. And here we are facing our first semi-boss in our story, Hardykin Hurst. Let's crush this bastard. I thought he'd be quicker, but he's actually really slow compared to us. We took him down in one swift bite. I made a deal with Nancy. For our family's sake, we both have to talk to our husbands tonight. Colin, Jonathan, those two idiots. If they don't get their tempers under control, it won't take long before conflicts end up in all-out warfare. Yes, that bounty Nancy was talking about, I think it's a great idea. Let's talk to T-Man and see if it's Carol.
Is it finished?
It is indeed. Do you know why Miss Gran filed a bounty? I just found out for myself. In order to stop their husbands killing each other, their wives came up with a plan for mutually assured destruction.
They see you as an embodiment of mutually assured destruction?
Just so. Carol Langan and Nancy Leatham believed the very threat of me would suffice. That their husbands would cool off, or that at the very least, they would refrain from murder. However, it only added to the tension between them. Colin Langan decided, as long as there wouldn't be a single Leatham alive to file a bounty, he could fire the first shot. As for Carol, well, the poor lady kept her word, even if the target was her husband.
I guess she still had her own code of honor. I hope she finds peace.
She'll be at rest. Here's the bounty for Colin Langan, a well-deserved reward for your amazing work.
Perfect. We've completed this bounty. Now let's head to the teleport near our campfire in the nearby town and get back home. Home sweet home, or should I say lake sweet lake? Since our house isn't fully built yet, the teleport keeps bringing us back here. But hey, who doesn't enjoy a refreshing dip now and then, right? We used the disassembly bench to clear out all our loot, then stored everything in the chests. Of course, we also collected everything left cooking in the furnace. Now let's organize everything, craft some more ammo, and maybe a few adrenaline shots to be well prepared for the next mission. Let's repair all weapons and armor for our next adventure and calibrate what we can to get some extra bonuses. Even though we were dealing enough damage, it's always better to upgrade every item to the highest level so we don't end up unprepared. Let's gather all the items that our deviations brought back while we were out. And why not use the ciphers to improve the mineral gathering tree so we can complete the journey objective that requires an axe and also be ready to build the electric furnace once we have the components for our first solar panel. Perfect. Let's go check the Camp Igloo to see what else we need to do and deliver the completed missions. I love this Camp Igloo, has such a cozy and unique vibe. Look here. As I mentioned in the pre-scenario help video, we have another Digby boy since we haven't talked to Lo yet.
Wonderful. I am glad you have taken care of it. So what shall we call this edition of our adventures? I was thinking Deviation Detective.
Let's just get down to business.
There we go, spoken like a proper detective. See, we are already off to a good start.
Let's get informed about Fort Obsidian from our friend Wendy.
I think it's time we discuss Fort Obsidian.
I'm guessing we've got another problem there?
Actually, an opportunity. An opportunity that happens to be connected to another problem. The Vultures are planning an assault on Camp Igloo. They're gathering material and forces at their stronghold, Fort Obsidian.
And the opportunity?
I've got intel that their leader, Igna, is supposed to be personally rallying the forces there. If you can catch him inside Fort Obsidian, you'd be cutting off the head of the whole Vulture movement. I'll mark the location on your map. Oh, and I know this is a dangerous task, so I'll make sure the reward is worth it.
Let's ask her about the Rosetta too.
Rosetta? You mean those guys in black uniforms? Yeah, I know them, and I hate them. They've made their way north and are starting to befriend the Vultures. Really, as if things weren't hard enough already.
Why would Rosetta help the Vultures?
Well, for starters, Rosetta has no love for us. And obviously, the feeling is mutual. The column is fiercely independent, and we assert control over our own territory. That alone makes us a natural rival in their eyes. Same could be said for the Vultures, of course. Rosetta isn't fully established here. So, they're willing to work with the Vultures and help them with their tech. Maybe once we're dealt with, Rosetta thinks they can just turn on the Vultures and be done with both of us? I don't know.
What do you want from me?
Your help. There's a Rosetta containment facility not too far away. I don't expect you to destroy that place, but can you infiltrate it? To find out what Rosetta and the Vultures are up to. And while you're at it, disrupt and weaken their operational capabilities. By that, I mean kill as many of the assholes as you can while finding the critical information we're after.
All right, we've got everything figured out now. Let's continue by talking to our friends here at Camp Igloo before heading to Fort Obsidian and Rosetta. Don't forget to talk to Hot Dog. Let's see what he has to say.
Oh, it's you! Glad to see you made it to Camp Igloo after saving my ass back there.
How are you finding Camp Igloo?
Honestly, it's awesome. I never thought I would be so popular. You know what? When I arrived, people were literally, like, carrying me through the streets. After that, there were the free drinks and the non-stop hot meals, plus some songs and games. I mean, I never got treated like that in the Union. And there's this one girl, Masley. You know her. Or, I guess I should say, Company Commander Masley. She's pretty, right? She's got the same grit of a Black Plains girl, but she's more exotic. So, yeah, we got along.
Glad you're enjoying yourself. See you around then.
Wait a minute. Can you do me a favor? I need some field recon carried out. I heard this from Masley. She wants to set up some observation posts in Onyx Tundra. The problem is, column resources are stretched too thin, and she could only mark down where they'd go. Honestly, I'd be no help. Surviving out in the wilderness is really not my thing. I mean, I barely survived the trip from Black Plains. But you're a different case.
You want to use my hard work to impress her?
Hey, it's nothing too crazy. Just go take some pictures at beautiful spots up here in the north. It's simple, really. Of course, there'll be a reward. I was given some Union funds, after all, to establish friendly relations between the Union and the column. This totally counts as that. Plus, I can give you some gifts from my local friends here. They've given me tons of food and drink. All really good stuff, but there's too much of it. You should take some. I'd say not a bad deal. I'll point you to the nearest spot. It's not far. Just take a pic there and send it back to me.
As we saw in the previous episode, cameras have been added around the map in OnceHuman to capture the beautiful spots in the game. What a cool feature. Hi, you need a hand?
True courage is loving life in the midst of its cruelty.
Didn't realize you were a poet.
Pretty nice, right? I actually heard that one from Veronica. Whoever first said it was right. It's courage that brought us this far. Now, I need you to instill courage in Camp Igloo.
What do you need me to do?
Yuka's a local from Camp Igloo and an expert navigator in Onyx Tundra. He's saved countless lives from blizzards over the years, including my own. But after witnessing the Vulture's atrocities, his spirit is broken. He won't even leave Camp Igloo now. We need to show him that the Vultures may be brutal, but they're not invincible. I'm sure that will help Yuka regain his courage. He's still got a brave heart deep down inside, just like the rest of us here. That's right. The code name for this operation is Braveheart. Take out the Vulture leader at Fort Obsidian. Camp Igloo is counting on your victory.
Okay, I was taking a stroll around Camp Igloo to check if I had done everything, but I have a doubt, so let's go back to Low. Indeed, we have some tasks.
You have been busy, Mayfly. But if you have some spare time, I have another case concerning a deviation you might be interested in.
What is it this time?
Strange happenings at the old Wishland amusement park. Very strange indeed.
Like what?
Oh, I would not want to ruin the surprise, now would I? Suffice to say, the park is more alive now than it was when it was still open. Why don't you go see a man named Yuka? He's a local. Works for the column as a scrounger sometimes. He has been asking around for someone to help him, but there have been no takers so far. I immediately thought of you and the opportunity this might present. I think it should definitely be worth your time.
Let's check out the other quest.
My friend, it is so good to see you again. We have new adventures to undertake and strange new deviations to contain.
You found one here, haven't you?
Indeed I have. It is a unique marvel, this one. Interested?
Of course, what is it?
There's a food factory near here. The temperature has dropped sharply there, far more than what has already plagued this area. That was my first clue that we were dealing with a unique deviation. Then I learned that they sent people to the factory, and they never reported back. Needless to say, that aroused my curiosity even more. Go speak with a man named Ridley. He's Camp Igloo's head of security. He can fill you in on the details. As for the deviation that is causing this situation, you know what to do.
Let's go talk to Yuka. Lo sent me.
The Mayfly. Did that guy send you? The researcher?
That's right. I see you've already talked to him.
He seemed quite interested in what I had to say, and asked a lot of questions. Said he knew someone who might be able to help me out.
What's the problem you need help with?
It's a long story, but I'll try and make it short. I recently led a group of column members into the old Wishland amusement park, in search of whatever supplies we could scrounge. You know the park's mascot, Mr. Wish? Well, I found a cute doll of him there, and took it home to give to my daughter. When I woke up the next day, however, the doll had turned into a poster for the park.
That's disappointing, but I don't see the problem.
That's only the beginning of the story. Ever since then, the voice of Mr. Wish emanates from the poster, inviting us to spend a fun-filled day at the park. It won't stop. Every day. Over and over again. I tried throwing the poster away, but it always reappears in the house. The voice is getting more and more insistent. I'm worried for my family. I'm at my wit's end. Although that researcher said it might be caused by a deviation in the park. Maybe handling that would solve the problem? I do it myself, but honestly, I'm afraid to go back there. Of course, I'm willing to reward you for your efforts.
I'll do it and I'll happily accept the reward too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I just want this whole thing to end.
Terrifying the experience her family went through, especially her daughter. But well, never mind. We are here to solve the issue. Now let's see what Ridley has to say. I'm here to ask about the deviations.
Hello, Mayfly. What can I do for you?
You know who I am.
I'm Igloo's head of security. There's not much that goes on in this camp that I don't know about. Masley filled me in on your arrival.
I hear there's a problem at the food factory.
Where did you hear? Never mind. Doesn't matter. The foreman there reported that the temperature was dropping fast at their location, though there was no clue as to why. Then we lost all contact with the site. I sent a small security team to check it out, but they haven't reported in. That was some time ago. Due to the constant threat from the Vultures, I haven't been able to send anyone else. You want to make yourself useful by going and checking on the site for me?
I can do that.
Good. I was hoping you would say that. I'll provide you the location. Once you get there, try and locate my team, and if possible, see if you can get the factory back up and running. Food here is running dangerously low, and our people are growing desperate. I'll be here waiting for your report once you're finished. Good luck.
Let's quickly head back home, start something in the furnace, organize the inventory, and then head toward the camp where we first met Masley. Fortunately, it's close to our home. We've already arrived. Let's see what he has to say.
We meet again. Wendy told me all about your exploits in Black Plains.
My exploits?
Yeah, like beating the Vultures, kicking Rosetta's butt, and taking on monoliths all by yourself. The stories about you just kept getting wilder. Speaking of which, I need your help with something. I can't think of anyone else but you.
Go on.
The good news is, we discovered a deviation at Camp Igloo and managed to stop it before it could spread. These bright lights you see are the result. The bad news is, I've been affected by it. It all started with insomnia. I didn't think much of it until the third day when I started hearing whispers.
Whispers?
It's hard to explain. Like an ancient language that only I could understand. It was constantly telling me things, from prehistoric civilizations to scientific theories. God, it was like being back in school, but 1,000 times more intense. But that wasn't all. It also told me about itself. The voice said it was the secret servitor, the attendant of an ancient master. It said it was bound to an unknown realm, with the sacred duty to spread the glory of its master through darkness, until all humanity knelt before it. After saying that, it would just go on about some complex theories. Now, all that stuff was beyond me. I figure it's better left to Veronica. She's the brains of the column.
Complex theories? Sounds
Time
interesting.
for my favorite question. Good news or bad news?
Give me the good news first.
Good news is, I'm sleeping better now. Bad news is, I dozed off during all the theory talk, so I've got nothing. Don't give me that look. Don't give me that look. Veronica's already been on my case about it for days. She just goes on and on. The more you pursue knowledge, the easier it is to be influenced by the whispers. Only you can extract the theory. Blah, blah, blah.
I can relate to Veronica.
Enough about Veronica. I've looked into the glacial monolith, and my affliction is connected to what's inside.
Makes sense.
Right now, my team needs to focus on dealing with the vultures. We can't afford to take on an enemy like Rosetta directly, but we also can't risk this spreading again. As far as we know, I'm the only one who's been affected. Someone needs to stop this before that changes. So let's work together. I need you to infiltrate the Taiga labs and investigate the monolith. I'll double check if anyone else has been affected.
I'm in.
Great, but I have to say, it won't be easy. If you want out at any point, I completely understand.
We accept and let's see what happens. Okay, let's start by checking the deviation at the food factory. Let's go. Bike ready, and let's head out. Let's take a moment and check out this house. Let's see if we can find something interesting. Oh my god, I completely forgot about this. This is the walking house. Okay, to complete this house, we first need to hit the hands and then look for the cursed spots where we can destroy the possession of this house. Perfect, and we also found a deviation, the disco ball. Let's finish by checking the pier for some pages or anything else. And here we have these damn crates. How I hate them. All right, nothing too relevant. Meanwhile, I also had a quick snack. Oh, look here, a new formula for a beautiful wall mirror. In the end, it was a good idea to stop here. This beautiful mirror will be displayed in my little house as soon as I complete it. But now, let's continue. Wait, I've changed my mind. Let's stop here because there's that little countryside village I don't think I've done or seen before. Look at all those enemies. What could this village be guarding? Just resources. Let's find out. At the moment, it looks like there are a lot of resources. Great. Now, thanks to the import from the other server of the Stardust sources, we have no ammo problems, so no matter how many of you there are, I'll shoot at all of you. All right, we've collected a good amount of resources. Let's get back to our mission for the deviation. But first, let's activate the teleport because it's important to always have one nearby in case we need to reach this area again in the future. Okay, we've arrived. Let's explore the entire surrounding area and then head towards the mission area. How beautiful is this little town with donuts as chandeliers? Wow. It's perfect as a food factory. This town makes me hungry just by looking at it. But it's not just me who got hungry in this town. We also need to feed our character, so food and drinks, and belly, make room.
It's getting noticeably colder the closer we get to this place. Once again, Lo seems to be onto something.
Now we know that Lo was right, but let's find out what this deviation has brought to this city. Watch out here, because there are these two monsters, both the head of the furnace giant already detached and the furnace giant itself. Be very careful to dodge all the attacks and try to take out the heads first. We also found another deviation, Artisan's Touch. Great. I had never had it before. Another deviation added to our priceless collection. Second to last building before the mission. Anyway, this town was well stocked, both with monsters and with good loot, as well as a good food supply that will definitely come in handy in the future. Here you can also find a blast helmet. If it's your first time playing, it will be useful, or if you haven't had the chance to use your blueprints, we've also activated the Rift Anchor. Now all that's left is to complete the quest inside this building.
See that? I think that might be our deviation. We should go inside and take a look around.
Look at these poor soldiers carrying food to the igloo. They are completely frozen. Reached level 15 and unlocked an override slot. Watch out for this monster, it explodes big time. Down here, you'll find the mystical chest and 45 pieces of the Snow Panther set blueprint.
Look at those blocks of ice. I guess we know why no one reported in. The people trapped in the ice. They're unconscious but still alive. This must be the work of that deviation. Generator in here that runs the machinery. If we can thaw it out, maybe we can get it running again. We'll need to find something to melt these ice blocks. Fire, heat, a smoldering glare, whatever you can think of.
It's so cold in here. Do you have food? I'm hungry.
Looks like the generator requires some kind of key card to start up. If we can thaw those blocks of ice and free the employees, maybe one of them will have the card we need.
Mom? Dad? I'm coming with food. Hang in there.
Great. We found a card. Now let's head to the generator and see if it works. Seems the teleportation gate still isn't active. We better get a closer look. Deviation, whatever it is generating block device that lets us open the teleportation gate. We need to thaw those blocks of ice and this deviation.
Feels so hot. Oh, the ice. It's finally melted. Has spring actually arrived? Mom, Dad, I can go home now.
I guess we should head back to Igloo and let Lo know the factory is safe now.
And by taking this deviation, you will have completed the mission.
Seems the workers have recovered already. Glad to see them again. destruction didn't mean any harm. It was just scared and hungry. It's safe now, right? Same with those factory workers and Ridley's team. Even the machinery still seems fine.
Perfect. Today's walkthrough video ends here. The new scenario is turning out to be very interesting, so make sure you don't miss it. I remind you that OnceHuman is free to play and can be downloaded via Steam or at oncehuman.game. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like or a comment, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for my videos.